So welcome to Boxing Media Hub, proudly in partnership with Falcon Contracting and Jam's Boxing Chat. And with me now, I've got a special guest. Got to get the name right because it's not the boxing name, but it's Benn Edwards-Norman. How you doing, Ben?
Right. I'm very good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, all good, all good. Real pleasure to have you on. We'll get into why we're here, but we're going to just go back over a couple of bits first. Obviously, 14 fights, 7 wins, 7 losses. Some of them a bit like that, weren't they? The losses, there was a point in it. There was a couple that, could have been, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. It's the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I never shied away from a challenge. Like I said, I think I had 5 undefeated. And then I got offered to go into Conor Butler's backyard and for a final eliminator for the Commonwealth. I thought, yeah, why not? It's flyweight. You can't be waiting round for ages. You need to jump at these chances because, like I say, I think now I've retired. I think there's only about 7 in the country now, so you have to take your options at that weight.
Yeah. And as you say, there was 1 point in it on the scorecard. Yeah. So it's not like it was one of those where you went into someone's backyard and, it told the story of an away fighter. You gave it the best. You came up short by a point. But the beauty is you went into the next fight. And what a cracker the next fight was. And the point swung your way.
Yeah. Obviously, as soon as after the Butler fight, so first lost as a professional, and I kind of sat down with manager, sorted money out and stuff like that. And he says, I'll have a week off, then I want to get back in the gym and see what happens. And they were like, well, funny enough, you've been offered the Liam Drink fight finally for the Midlands. I was like, okay, we've tried to make this fight for the Midlands for I don't know how long, and some reason they didn't want it. Then if it might, I think it helped because he boxed a lad called, not Sean Jackson, his brother, Stephen Jackson, I think it is. And I sort of knew about Stephen Jackson because he obviously stopped Mickey Cantwell's lad. And I think Liam beat him by a round. I was thinking, what's Liam playing about? Obviously, these journeymen, don't get wrong, it's easy to lose a 4-rounder, a 6-rounder to these journeymen, what people realise. So I just kind of said to Major, get me Stephen Jackson. I want to box him and kind of prove a point. And I think I drew 1 round against him. So I said, okay, I've got the 1 up already. Which, don't get wrong, I never had a problem against Liam until we actually come to fight. I think, obviously, everyone knows what my brother's like. Obviously, mouthing off on social media.
I never said that for a minute.
Yeah, I think at one point people were like, are you all right? I think every week he was calling someone out. And I was even saying to him, I've had to follow you on Twitter because you're always calling someone out each week.
It's a bit boring now. It's a bit boring.
Yeah. Which when I come to the weigh-in, it was a bit hostile straight away. He had all his cronies round him, which I have a bit of history with the Shinfield gym because obviously my brother boxed for him and he always wanted me to sign for him, but I never did. So obviously he weighed in, thought, perfect, he's made the weight. I weighed in, made it easy. Then obviously I thought, I've got to do photos now. I thought, we'll just do the normal protocol, face the front first, and then do a face off. But as soon as he come up, he put his head straight in my face. I thought, what are you doing? It took me a bit off guard, and then he kept doing it, pushing his head on me and everything. And I kind of pushed him off and went, what are you doing? I said, you've cut me, the fight's off, so stop putting your head in. And they think either Scott Carlo, he was holding the vacant belt, and he was kind of looking like, what's going off here? But I think because I beat Liam in the amateurs, and I think because my brother winded him up beforehand, obviously he tried to take it on me, but that was his downfall from then. Because how many people had messaged me saying, make sure you knock him out and beat him up and all this, because obviously how we acted straight away. And I was like, yeah, right. And obviously after the actual weighing bit, my brother and dad, they were going bit back and forth with their parents and stuff like that. And I went, just chill out, I'm not bothered. It's just one of them. I said, we'll see you tomorrow night.
Thanks, Louis. Thanks.
Yeah. Once again, one of the many times as well because of him.
But do you know what I mean? You you took your and the mad thing is you got that after a loss. So you got the opportunity after a loss. It's almost like they turned around and went, "Well, he's lost now. Now's probably the time to have a go. Now's the time to have we can win against him. He's on a bit of a downer, but it went the other way. You picked yourself up. You got back in there. You proved your mettle, and fantastic performance. And you deserved it. You deserved it. And as you say, that's your moment. That was your moment in boxing, and you go down in history books.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, I think what made it sweeter is because he made it personal, which I never get bored by. That it takes a lot to wind me up. But I think their downfall was he offered the fight. I think the last week coming up to the Butler fight, and my manager says, "Well, I'm not being funny. If he wins this, we're pushing on for the Commonwealth. We're not looking back at the Midlands." And obviously, had a bit of a controversial decision against Butler because everyone I've spoke to, even people in Liverpool, they were like, "Oh, we thought you win that." I was like, "Look, it's boxing for you. It's just one of them. I know how it all works." I say it's not Connor's fault. It's not his judges. It's obviously Corner's fault. Obviously, you've got one ref who was judging it, which it's a shame because it was eliminator, so it should have probably been 5 judges really. But is what it is. But I think for the Butler fight, I found out about it before the Christmas beforehand. So I had about 16-week camp coming up to that. And then literally after that fight, literally they mentioned it the night of the fight about that. I said, "Yeah, I'll take it." They're like, "Well, let's just have a couple of days and then I'll ask you then." And Carl rang me up, I think, on the following Monday. Says, "Do you still want that fight?" I went, "Yeah." So obviously I think I had a week off and then I was straight back into another 7 or 6 week training camp. So realistically, I was in like a 23-week training camp sort of thing. So obviously when I got in there, I think he realised that because I set such a high pace from the off. And obviously they gave it me by 1 round, which as soon as they said the scorecards, I kind of looked at my team thinking, "Oh no, not again. Don't do a repeat of the Butler one." So obviously as soon as I walked in, I was getting booed and everything, which I'm not a big ticket seller. I think I only sold about 40 tickets for that, so you could hear my like little crowd throughout the night. But I was getting booed, like getting all the hand gestures off his family because they were right near our side of the table. But that stuff I absolutely love. I do. I was like, "Yeah, right. You put me on more up for it. I'm not bothered." And then to like when this says, and then knew I was thinking, "Oh, okay, please. I've worked so hard for this." Then when they said coming from Leicestershire, I literally, you see me jump up and down on the video. And I literally just dropped to my knees and just cried my eyes out. I thought I've literally gone from having a 10-round war with Conor Butler to literally 8 weeks on the day back in the ring, winning my first title. And to kind of shut that side up as well, obviously seeing his face being all confident and his face was dropped, that was like probably one of my best moments of my career. Thinking, "Yeah, I've done you now. You've been all cocky, but now you look an idiot."
Yeah. Well, and you done it for yourself. Do you know what I mean? And for your team, you worked hard. As I say, you put the work in, and 100%, mate. You deserve it. Jam has jumped in. He's put big up Joel and a little storm in. Ben has been in with some epic boxers, and he's just listed a few there. Proper resume. Like you say, you weren't in there to mess about. You wanted the fights. You wanted the decent fights. You wanted to test yourself, and you know, you did. You went in there. You did what you wanted to do, and come out healthy. You know, that's like we say, that's the main thing. It was great to see you to win the Midlands area title versus Liam Dring. So happy for you. And big up to Louis. I don't know why we're saying that. That's not stealing the spotlight tonight. He's been on here. He's had his time. Oh, so now he's dropped the bombshell. Now we're going to talk about it. Obviously, the rest of the career, you had some tough fights, some tough decisions along the way. As you say, you were sort of a fight from the end where you thought maybe it's. I'm starting to question now, not necessarily in your ability, but whether your heart was still in it. You know, for the sport as opposed to your dedication. And yeah, 2 days ago, you stuck a video out there, didn't you? You little git.
Yeah.
I thought it was a nice video. I thought you put it really well. As I say, it must have been a really difficult decision to make for you and your team. You've been in the sport a long time. It's been in the blood, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And to come to that decision must have been hard, Ben. But you've done what you've got to do for yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been hard. It's been crazy because obviously I got married in June, and just putting it out there, my marriage hasn't ruined my boxing career whatsoever. Just so people clear, I know a few people probably says, "Well, it's because you had that time off, obviously for your wedding and stuff like that." But from January to May, I got offered 15 fights in Spain and everything, and I accepted probably 10 out of the 15. What made sense. Obviously, 3 of the other fights were I offered to fight Jack Turner, which I even said to his coach after my last fight because he was sitting there. So I'll have sorts of sparring now. And I says, I tell you now, I'll happily spar him, but I am not fighting Jack because he's an absolute animal and he's a massive super flyweight. I says, I'm not daft. And his coach just started laughing. He was like, well, cheers for being honest. I'm like, yeah, I'm not fighting someone like that.
I am stupid.
Then obviously, I got frustrated and I kind of said to my coach and that, I says, look, I says, a professional boxing medicals now is about 1,500 quid. And obviously, I'll come up to a renewal. I think it was in the October, so I kind of that. I don't know if there's any point renewing it because nothing's coming up. I'm getting frustrated now. And I literally got back in the gym, which I'm always in the gym anyway. I'm never at a time where I'm normally out. I think I was my heaviest what I ever went up to, which I know a lot of people will laugh at, is for 9 stone. And
Stop
people will laugh.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's my leg. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And people were laughing their heads off, but obviously you gotta remember my first amateur fight, I was 26 kg. I was literally tiny sort of thing. I stopped growing from the age of 13. Which, believe it or not, in primary school I was literally the tallest in my school. Then everyone's carried on growing and I just carried on staying down here. So obviously I'll get frustrated.
How tall are you, Ben? How tall are you?
5'4", I've been told when I've done my medical.
See, mate, I'm not that much taller than you, so I can't rumble. I'm 5'7", in heels, I think. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I literally come back from my honeymoon in Maldives, an amazing place because me and Mrs. looked forward to it so much. Obviously, I think it was like nearly 3 years in the making coming to the wedding. Then I would come back in the gym. I think I had about a week off, and straight away my coach was like, when you back in the gym? When you back in the gym? I was like, oh, I'll be back in tonight. I was going to have the rest of this week off, but yeah, all right, I'll come tonight. And I was doing all right. I was only been back in the gym probably about a week. Mm-hmm. And I think it was on the following Thursday, my coach rang me up and says, right, be honest, mate, what you weigh? And I went, I think I'm about 8'8", when realistically I was about just under 9 stone. I was like, oh, what? How come? He says, do you want to box a week on Saturday? Can you make 8 stone? I was like, I should be able to getting the weight off is not a problem. I was like, yeah, all right, I'll do that. I was like, well, where is it? I said, I'm not fit, I'm not 100%. And he went, oh, it's in Texas. I went, you what? He went, oh, no, it's in Texas. I was like, right, okay. I'm like, yeah. They're like, Spencer Oliver's taking the team from UK to fight.
Yeah.
Roy Jones Juniors.
Yeah, I saw that.
And straight away, I was like, yeah, right. Did not even know who I was fighting. Like, through my career, I've always been that same as amateur. My dad was like, oh, do you want to fight next Saturday? I was like, yeah, okay. Do you want to know again? I was like, no. I'll just go to my room or get ready to train. I never asked. Then I can remember being there, at a press conference, first time I've done it. I was kind of looking around thinking, all these lads look massive. I cannot see my lad. I was thinking, I hope it's none of these because these look all twice size me. Then obviously I said my little bit and everything, and then they were like, oh yeah, Jesus isn't here tonight. Oh, yeah. My heart sank for, thanks God for that. I'm not seeing any of my size. These all look massive. Then I'd done a bit of research.
By the way, Ben, you're coming in at heavyweight.
Yeah, no, I've done a bit of research once I found out who it was. Well, obviously, when I first took it, it was on, and I literally trained all through that week, and I think I lost about £5. Then my manager got in touch with me saying, "No, your fight's off. I think he's got COVID." I was like, "Oh, my visa's just been approved as well." I was like, "Oh, look forward to it." But look, it is what it is. And literally the following day, literally had a good meal at work with 2 pints of Coke, and my manager was like, "The fight's back on." I was like, "You what?" He went, "So you're flying out on Tuesday, well, tomorrow night." I was like, "All right, okay." And they're like, "You sure you still want it?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll put a bit more weight back on, but yeah, I'll be all right." Then literally got there, found out who I was boxing, and no word of a lie. The first video I watched of him, he stopped his opponent in 30 seconds. And I was like, what the hell am I boxing in for? I know I've boxed everyone, but Jesus Christ. Then
What have you done? What have you done?
his main sparring partner being Bam Bam Rodriguez as well. His main trainer, Robert Garcia as well. I'm kind of going from like smaller to smaller, thinking, in my head, I'm thinking, do I pull a sickie? What am I doing this for?
Yeah,
Even if you
I'm not 100%. I don't weigh what I should do, and you're putting me in against the guy like that. What a team! What a team! Yeah, big shout out to the lads on that one.
So we was there like obviously a week before to get used to everything, and it was nice and all thinking, yeah, it's going to be easy to get this weight off. And people like had about £2 or £3. They're like, what you got to lose? Went, I think I got about £6 or £7. And they're like, you what? I went, I've only been back in the gym a week, and I've took this on a week's notice against someone who's top 50 in the world. And they went, why are you doing that for? I went, I'm just an idiot. That's why.
Then, at least you're honest.
Yeah. Then obviously I was in training that week, and if you trust my coach, I was kind of getting less and less confident because my sharpness weren't there. And our game plan was, right, is your typical like Mexican boxer. As soon as you stay there after these shots, he's just going to unload on you. So you've got to move. Obviously, on the pads, I was falling in, I was doing that. And afterwards, I was like, bloody hell, I can't box. I forgot how to box. Like the sharpness and everything weren't there. And when you've had like a few months off, either some people tell you you'll have a week off and you come back, you think, bloody hell, it's crazy how quick your sharpness and everything goes.
Yeah.
But got into the fight, and obviously I've got to say, Texas, America, it's unbelievable how well the crowd treat you. Like they're all clapping us and everything as soon as we're walking in, and like you have it anywhere, even in the UK especially, you get booed if you're not the home fighter.
Yeah, 100%. Sometimes you get booed if you are the home fighter.
Yeah, and then I can remember seeing this like young lad walking in. He was only like 19. I was thinking you could see something just special about him, sort of, and when you get that sort of aura. And he got in the ring, and I thought, oh, here goes nothing. Now, I think in the first round, either Roy Jones Jr. picked up on it. I think he caught me a couple shots, and I'll come back every single time. And I landed 2 peaches of 2 uppercuts. And obviously, watching it back, it's crazy because with Roy Jones Jr., that's a cracking uppercut by Norman and stuff like that. I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, that's Roy Jones talking about me. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Then, obviously, come back after the second round, and coach like, how you feeling? I was like, I'll be honest with you, I says, my legs ain't there, my sharpness ain't there. And he was like, well, we knew that, but you've got to do what you can because you're in this fight. I was like, yeah, okay. So I just gritted my teeth, and he slowly started just pull away with it towards the end, which we were expecting that anyway.
Yeah.
And then obviously the scorecards thing, one scorecard didn't give me one single round. I was like, okay, that's a bit harsh. One round gave it in by 2 rounds. Then the last judge gave it in by 1 round. I thought, okay, that's not bad. I've played my part in it. Yeah, I'll take that to lose like on a like close points loss sort of thing. Then straight away afterwards, the lad said, I'm not going to lie, I was crapping myself when this fight got announced because I knew that it was going to be a hard fight. Because even on the poster and that, they had me as like the top man, and he was the underdog, thinking, I've lost my last 3 fights before this. What do you mean putting me the top man? And when they were saying how many national titles and everything that I won, he used to be managed and promoted by Joe Kawasaki and Darren Barker and that as well. And I was like, hang on, I've lost my last 3 fights, so surely he should be the top man. I've got no pressure on me.
Yeah, but just take it, mate. Take it.
Yeah, definitely. And
Roy
I made
Jones
obviously
Jr. doesn't call
yeah.
everyone's fight saying 2 great uppercuts landed in a row. That's it for the rest of you. You can retire now, knowing that one of the goats of boxing was talking about you. Yeah, that's special.
It's just crazy because I spoke to him after my fight. He kind of like see me. I went up and shook his hand and I said, "Oh, thank you." I went to walk off and then all of a sudden I had like a hand pull me back by the shoulder. I thought, "Hey, what's happening here?" And then Roy Jr. pulling me back. And he was like, "You got to start putting your shots together." He said, "You're a lot better boxer than him." And I kind of stood there like starstruck. I was like, "Oh, Roy Jr. thinks I'm a good boxer." Like, so I just went a bit blank to him. I thought, I was like, "Yeah, I know." I said, "I knew what I needed to do." And he kind of looked a bit speechless. So like, "I've had a week's notice for this." And he was like, "You what?" I went, "Yeah, I've had a week's notice." He says, "Oh, he's been training about 12 weeks." I was like, "Well, it just shows you I've done all right then, saying I had a week's notice against someone who's had that long training."
Yeah, no, 100%. And you deserve it, mate. Like I say, you've gone through your whole career. You've given everything you've got. And, like Jam said, it don't get bigger than Roy Jones Jr. giving you props, mate. 100%. You deserve it.
I've actually got the ring as well. But Spencer Oliver, Roy Jones, you see that? They all gave us that ring sort of thing. So I always wear it on a night out as well. And people always like, "Hey, you think you are Mr. T or something with your wedding ring on and that?" And then when I tell them, "Oh yeah, Roy Jones Jr. gave me that," they're like, let's have a look at it.
Yeah, shut up now.
How often can you say I keep him at the bedside table? Like, how often can you say you got to give him like a diamond ring by Roy Jones Jr. and Spencer Oliver? It's like, it's crazy.
Well, Ben, you deserve your place there. You've worked hard your career. As I say, you come out a healthy man, happy man, married man, and life starts now. What's next for Little Stormin? That's not how you're ever going to be known now, by the way. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I think for a bit, I'm just going to enjoy myself, obviously, because I've been doing it for 24 years since I was 4 years old. Obviously, I was never forced into sport or anything like that. My dad just owned a boxing gym and just took me down to obviously wear me out. Because believe it or not, saying how small I am, I was really good at basketball. I had trials for Leicester Riders and everything. Unfortunately, obviously, just didn't get to that next stage. Which is when I tell people that, they kind of like look me up and down thinking, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was quite good at basketball, but I used to obviously do everything like cricket, football, and everything like that." I think I've always, this is when I knew it was kind of coming to the end, because I've always talked about, well, when I retire, I'm going to do this and do that. Like I started playing golf about 2.5 years ago. The missus is like, "Why are you doing that?" I said, "Look, I know I'm going to be in those superstar. I know anyone who plays golf will tell you how hard it actually is." But I says, most boxers, when they come to retire, they either suffer with mental health issues and stuff like that. I says, I want something to kind of focus on after, thinking, "Oh yeah, I want to try and get better at now." And like Mrs. straight away, she says, "You're not going to end up like your brother, are you now? Like put a bit of weight on and stuff like that." I says,
you ain't going to end up like that, mate. No one's wishing that.
Not.
You know what I mean? No one's wishing that.
Yeah. I says, "No, I want to get in the gym." I says, "I want to get on the weights to put a bit of size on it. Something what I've always wanted to do." Obviously, I couldn't do it when I was boxing, because if you have too much muscle, obviously it can slow you down. So I've kind of always had that plan what I'm doing next sort of thing. My coach has already been trying to like holler me up and saying, "Oh, I think you'd be a really good coach. Do you think you'll get into it?" I'm like, in the meantime, I'd say no. I think because I've grew up in the gym, nothing's more frustrating than putting time and effort into kids and stuff like that. And then like, doing the box now, and they're like, "No." And you think, "You're really good, mate. Just give it a go." But they're like, "No." But I always says that I'll never be a coach or take over my dad's gym. But I think now I'm at that point, because I've retired, I think I will eventually. But I think for the next year or so, I think I'm going to enjoy myself, just kind of not living the athlete's lifestyle. They're like, if I fancy a beer in the week, like, yeah, I'll have a beer. Just enjoying myself and not constantly living my life on the scales thinking, oh, how much weight have I put on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think just enjoy retirement for the next year. And then have a look, see what I'm doing next after that. Obviously, I work full time anyway. So it's not like I'm just going to be sitting around doing nothing all day. So, yeah, I think just enjoy retirement, then eventually working way back into boxing and probably become a coach or might either get my seconds license. So I still keep in touch with manager Carl Greaves. So I can always go to his shows and help out in the corner and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like Jam said, I think you'd make a fantastic coach once you're ready to commit to it. Yeah, 100%. Ben, it's been lovely having you on, mate. And as I say, I wish you all the best with you and your family. Even Louis, we'll give him a shout out because we have to.
Yeah.
If we don't mention him, he gets a bit funny. Honestly, big shout out to you, mate. Great career. Underachieved. I think underachieved. I think you could have done more. You had the opportunities to do more, but as you say, you've got to do what works for you, mate. That's what you got to do. And it's not easy to walk away.
The only thing I'd say I probably kicked myself on is that I never, obviously no disrespect to manager like that, but I never got the opportunity at my weight, and my weight was like flyweight. I could make that very comfortable when managers even said in the newspaper, he says, if Ben were to box a light flyweight, not just saying it, I'd beat him all in Britain and I'd even get to world honours sort of thing. Because when you're not boxing at your weight, it's an hard game. But no, it's one of those now. I've just seen it as, well, the time that was, they just won't take the fight. But I don't blame him because I had too much of a risk for him. But no, I've got no regrets. I gave everything in there. I boxed literally everyone. I can hold my head up. Like the last fight, I got dropped within 40 seconds, but don't know how I got up, but I got up, just gave it a go, seeing what I could have done. And
that's it.
The rest is history.
Well, Dan Davies, well done. Great interview. Best wishes. And a quick one. Obviously, this weekend is a cracking fight on. You might have heard. Usyk versus Fury 2. Where are you going, Ben?
Probably going to be the same as it was for the first fight and say Usyk. I think there's been little signs already. I know Fury looks more switched on, don't get me wrong. And loads of people saying, oh, it was like this for the second Wilder fight, and look how that happened. Like, but the difference is Usyk's a lot more talented and better IQ fighter than Wilder. I says, I see signs. When you're in boxing, you see little signs. I'm like, Fury wants it too much, I think. And when you want it too much, says he's probably looking for it, make a statement, throwing big punches, but that's where he'll start making mistakes. And I think even if he tries to put on Usyk, I think he's going to struggle. Joshua tried to do it the second time and he got pinged all over the shop. Usyk is just a very special fighter. Don't get it wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if Fury pulls it off. And then we'd obviously see the trilogy. But I think Usyk's going to win wide points or a late stoppage. Then, if that's the case, I'd like to see Joshua against Fury for probably both of their last fights, really. Get both and make a big payday, then call it a day.
Well, like Jam said, Fury weighed in at 281 pounds.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot of Ben Normans, isn't it? That's quite a lot of Ben Normans.
Yeah, definitely. Considering our box at like £112 as well. So, yeah.
That's how we're going to weigh fighters now. That's a couple of Ben Normans, that.
That's crazy.
But honestly, mate, it's a pleasure to have you on, as I say. And obviously, if you and Louis weighed the same, we know who would win that one. So we won't say because we don't want to upset. But honestly, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Thank you very much, and you.
And stay in touch, mate. And as I say, I wish you all the best for the future. I think whatever you do, Ben, you've got the right attitude to go and strive and do well in it. So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Just keep being yourself, mate. And, yeah, things will come your way. I have no doubt. But take care, and I'll catch up with you soon. Take care,
Cheers,
mate.
thank you very much.
God bless. Take care, mate.
Cheers, mate.